Hey guys, I'm back again, and as you can probably tell from the shirt I'm wearing, who I'm going to be doing a review about today. Now, I remember as a kid watching like 90s Spider-Man on TV with my Milo and my bowl of Cocoa Pops or rice bubbles or cornflakes just sitting there, and then Spider-Man do his thing, and then when Venom like hit the scene, I'm just like, holy shit, like this guy is fucking amazing. Obviously didn't say it as like a very young kid, be like, oh gee whiz, that's really cool. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing a review about him today. And the comic I'm going to be doing is The Enemy Within. Now this was originally published between, it's several trades. There's 10 in all, which comes in this. Originally they were just single trades, and in 2013 they put it into a paperback like this, and I picked it up and I thought it was really cool because I'm like, shit, Venom, throwing my money's just like out of my wallet. So this is just basically a set from it was published between 93 and 94, these ones please. So there's 4 stories in it. 3 of them are 3-part series. One's just a sort of one shot. So you got the Funeral Pile, which you got Funeral Pile, The Madness, of course the fucking title, The Enemy Within, and then you got The Incredible Hulk vs. Venom. I'm going to start in the order of how I read it. So with Funeral Pile, basically there's this reporter, Gray Russell. He is a reporter who's infiltrated this gang in San Francisco. Now things started like hitting the fan where they were like, hey, for your initiation you gotta basically kill this guy, you gotta shoot this guy or beat this guy up and stuff like that. And it's just a slippery slope down. And then, what I forgot to say at the start was, in this time period, Eddie Brock has moved away from New York to sort of get away from Spider-Man and all that, and decided to help people. So he's become sort of very much like an anti-hero in this, where he's sort of where he's constantly having battles with the symbiote, saying like, we should help these people, and the symbiote's like, why don't we kill these people? And he's like, kind of want to help these people, should be helping them out. So that internal struggle. So he's moved to San Francisco, so that's why this whole comic takes place in San Francisco instead of New York. So the reporter Russell, he's infiltrated this gang. Shit starts getting too real for him. He helps out this kid who his uncle. The gang forced him pretty much to jump off a building, and so the little kid went to Eddie Brock and said, went to Venom, I should say. Okay. Basically told him about this guy who's taken. He's like, he needs help, and so Venom sets out to save this guy. Meanwhile, of course, whenever there's crime needs to be punished, and the Punisher shows up and he's like, sweet, awesome, possible team up, keep ready on. Basically, Punisher's doing his usual thing, just driving by. There's one scene where he's just shooting out of his battle wagon or battle van, whichever one, with like an Uzi in one hand, just shooting like street thugs, minigun on the top, just mowing down everyone. I was like, sweet. And then he meets Venom. He's like, holy shit. Uses this dish that it's like pretty much like microwaves. The same sort of frequency of microwaves, really. That's how they describe it in the comic. He forces Venom, like the symbiote starts leaving him because he can't take the high frequency noise. But then they disconnect something on the van, basically shut it down, and then Punisher just basically goes off doing his own thing because he left the van with the thing on. He's like, oh, I won't have to worry about that. I can still keep punishing these thugs. So basically, he's going through. You find out in the comic that Gray Russell, his dad, was a scientist, and he's like always admired his dad. Well, that's why he became reported to like do good in the world. Find out that his dad was working for Hydra, trying to make a super soldier program, kind of like the Captain America one, and yeah, he basically gets forced down into his father's laboratory, with where the gang was hanging out. The Punisher's just rampaging through the place, just killing people. He's coming after him because he's dressed in like gang colours and all that kind of stuff. He's like, shit. So he hops into this machine and basically gives him superpowers, and he can shoot sort of like these, once again, like these, they describe it as microwaves at people. So he's just shooting like these energy blasts from his hands. Now the Punisher's just like, oh shit, when he discovers it, he's just like, you killed I forget the sort of one kind of thug that was nice to Mr. Russell, but he's just you killed him, I'm gonna fucking kill you now. And then Venom shows up, and they once again have another fight. Basically between Pile is the guy's name. He's like, oh, you all go up like a pile, like a funeral pile, hence the title, the name. So yeah, basically big battle erupts. They end up using the Punisher's van to reverse the waves. So it's like they're anti-microwaves, once again, all described in the good old comic, to basically stop him for a while. The whole building collapses on top of him, and he's just presumed he's dead. He's crushed. And yeah, throughout though, whenever like the Punisher and Venom meet, it's sort of like fisticuffs, and Punisher's just like shooting away and they're just not doing anything. I believe at one point Venom takes like a ballistic knife, and which I thought was really cool. The overall, because I like Venom, I like Punisher, really like that story. I thought it was probably one of the stronger of all the stories. So the next one, The Madness, where pretty much there is this woman named Beck. She is basically the Eddie Brock's love interest in San Francisco, and they're starting to move their relationship on that. And then shit really hits the fan when it's the last story. The Juggernaut has come to kidnap her, so and things just escalate from there. So it's just the Juggernaut just beating the shit out of Venom, and Venom trying to fight back at them. But at the same time, it seems that Eddie Brock is sort of losing control of the symbiote, which he's hearing more and more voices, and he's just like, this is weird. Because before he could only hear like the symbiote's voice, but then there's multiple other voices in his head now. Now, basically, in like sort of the climactic fight against the Juggernaut, he's fighting him, and then he's just sort of like brains just like snaps, and he's transported into the realm of insanity, or at least spiritually. Where he versus, was it the Necromancer? I've got names here. What is it? Yeah, he versus the Necromancer, which looks like Ghost Rider. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that's cool, we've got the Ghost right here, but no, it's not. He's got red flames, and it's like a black skull. I call it the skeleton sort of black. You've got Paranoia, which is, or Paranoia, which is just like a green cloak with eyes, and you can't really see his face and that, and he's just like shadows and illusions, all that kind of bullshit. And then you got Gus, which is just like a rotting sort of pale corpse, and so he seems to be the ringleader of this, and they're all basically fucking with Eddie Brock's mind, saying it's like, oh, you're never going to be as good as Spider-Man, why are you helping these people and that. Anyway, he just goes fucking ape shit and beats them all, comes back, then basically comes back and beats the Juggernaut. What I forgot to mention before was at one point he's like, alright, I've got to save Beck. I'm going to get it to Beck before the Juggernaut does. Goes there, tells her that he is Venom, shows her the symbiote, and then the symbiote's like, how about you walk with us, become one of, like, we all become one, and some like real creepy shit, and she's just like freaking out, like, get the fuck away from me, pretty much. And yeah, was alright. I just thought it wasn't as strong as like the last one. I thought maybe like the realm of insanity was kind of a bit overdoing it, and just seemed to drag out a little over the 3 issues. But yeah, overall, not. I've read worse. I've read worse. Alright, so the next one is The Enemy Within, which has basically set on Halloween in San Francisco again. Venom is just patrolling like the city. He stops this one kid from getting kidnapped and ransomed by this guy. And then on his way home, he's taking like the subway, and basically these sort of goblins just fucking appear out of nowhere, and he's just like, what the fuck, they're like that big like green fucking goblins with red eyes, sharp teeth and that, and there's just a swarm of them, and he battles them, he survives, finds out there's this green sort of like, I don't know if you'd say ectoplasm or blood, or it's green, like in the shape of a goblin's face. And he's just like, alright, so he's trying to find out. Meanwhile, at the same time, we find out that there's this cult. They're trying to pretty much summon these demons. Then Demo Goblin, which is just like fucking. I'm like, what are you, some CD list fucking villain? I've never heard of him. And from what I've seen in this, I'm like, if he's probably in something, like, fuck off, get out of here. So yeah, he attacks them, the cultists, and finds pretty much finds out about this necklace. Now, meanwhile, there's a campaign for who's going to be mayor at the time. Charles Palpatine, he's seen as this good guy, and he's like, oh, I'm going to do all this great stuff for the city and that. You know, these goblin attacks keep these goblin attacks keep happening throughout San Francisco, and people are like taking up arms, and they're like, here's a great idea, how about we pour gasoline into the sewers and light all the sewers on fire, because they seem to be coming from underground. They do that, and basically San Francisco is burning, and there's riots, and there's just all this shit's going like haywire. Meanwhile, Venom and Morbius team up, and they discover like, well, there was this guy who broke out of Alcatraz a while ago, and flicking through this old book, they're like, well, he's got this necklace, and they never mention what this fucking necklace is called. So basically, but it's a necklace that has like some powers of like the old gods. So basically, it allows you, whoever the wearer is allowed to control the goblins. They run into, they figure out who's basically been summoned these goblins, which was Charles. He broke out of prison. He was the guy who broke out of prison. He prayed to all the old gods, but he summoned all these goblins, and they dug him out. And slowly he's been making his rise to power. The corrupt little fucker he is. So basically, before that confrontation, though, they have a skirmish with the Demo Goblin, because he appears before the goblins, and the goblins pretty much just worship him because he seems to be a higher goblin. So he's just like, alright, cool, do my bidding. So they had a skirmish with him. Then they go and confront Charles after finding out who it is. Basically, the necklace gets taken from him. Demo Goblin just like flies in, he's just like, thanks fuckers, and just runs off. Takes the necklace, becomes fucking like, I can't remember if the 100-foot, but like King Kong sort of size, and he's just fucking swaggering through town, and it's just like, fucking hell, with an army of like, with a horde of like these goblins, and it's a confrontation which happens onto the bridge. they defeat the Demogoblin, and then they just like part ways because the sun was sort of starting to come up. Yeah, it's I don't know. I just thought it was like, sort of. I don't know. I didn't find like the supernatural element goes well with Venom. That's just my opinion. Some people may be like, oh, well, I rather him fighting supernatural beings and that. But I just think since like crime and possibly aliens, since the symbiote is an alien, that sort of would be better, or superheroes or supervillains, whichever. But yeah, when it comes to like magic and Venom, doesn't really. And then the last story, which, Jesus Christ, that's the worst of like all the 10 stories. The Incredible Hulk versus Venom. There's a terrorist which has threatened to he threatens he has this machine which can cause earthquakes in San Francisco. Now, he is basically saying on public television that he's like, I'm gonna fucking do it, I'm gonna destroy San Francisco. The Hulk and Venom sort of collide. There's like trying to find this dude, like, oh, it's obviously you, and they fight each other. Now, in this time period, because I don't read too much about the Hulk, he's wearing his, like, the Hulk can talk, he's like sort of mastered his anger, so he can talk, or he's found inner peace with Bruce Banner. I don't fucking know. But he's wearing this fucking, like, sort of one piece with like a belt, cut off at the knees and that, and it's brown, and it's just weird because he's like saying like full intellectual sentences, and it's like, no, that's not how I see the Hulk. Like, sure, you can have like one or two maybe full sentences, but it's not how I see it. And yeah, it was like, Jesus Christ, it's a story. And so they fight and they cause a whole bunch of destruction in the streets of San Francisco. And so basically they find the terrorist. There's this guy who's like got this little cardboard box which says like earthquake machine. He's like, I'll do it, I'll press the button. And yeah, they just walk away and laugh at him because, and apparently the earthquakes, because when he said there was going to be an earthquake, it was like them battling. I was like, that is fucking lame ass shit. Yeah, as I said, probably the worst out of all the stories there. Yeah. So overall, I did enjoy it, even though some of the stories were weaker. Just to see sort of Venom's interaction, trying to be a hero, and his interaction with other people. I thought that was really cool. Maybe they thought that he wasn't strong enough to carry a title by himself. But they have to like keep bringing in these guys. Not all A-listers, of course. And just fucking Eddie Brock, he's got this fucking shoulder length mullet. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Which was the style at the time. So overall, I really enjoyed it. If you like Venom, of course now there's like Agent Venom, which is Flash Thompson. But if you want to sort of have a bit of a look back, I recommend that you pick it up. So, alright, Ryan out.